welcome to Ping Pong Podcast number 10 with special co-host, me, Sabrina Cohn. Because Mom's busy tonight.
Mary and Jacob went to the Dodger game.
They have abandoned us. I cannot log on. Oh, no, there it goes. I should turn off my sound. So I'm not listening to us.
Okay. So what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to throw the ball up, straight up in the air, hit it, so it bounces on your side and my side. At this point, after when you're volleying, you want to hit a little bit up so that the angle is up and over. So yesterday I went to the baseball game with Jacob, and tonight Mary went with Jacob, and you're saying, well, what about Sabrina? Well, Sabrina's getting to go tomorrow night. Tomorrow night, for all those of you who don't know, is Mary's birthday, and so all four of us are going. What it looks like at the moment, because we've got 2 seats in the dugout club and 2 seats in the front row of the field level. We had a little bit of an accident over here at the standee thing with the ping pong tables for sale fell over.
Oh, no.
I gotta fix the camera. How's all our comments and all our likes and shares? Hi, Michael. Michael Trutanich is watching. I gotta reset the tripod. Don't knock over the standee thing. That's what I learned. Usually Mary's on this side and I'm on the other side. Because Serena's here, she got to choose her side. Right? Do you have the ping pong ball or I have it?
You have the ping pong
Sorry,
ball.
people. Ping pong ball is over. Uh-oh. Oh, here it is. Chula. Chula. Ready?
Yup.
How's your day been going?
My day has been going pretty good, except almost dying at the hospital.
What happened at the hospital?
Well, I went in just to talk to them, and they're like, hey, you still need your 3rd HPV vaccine. I'm like, cool, I'm not doing anything better right now. So I did that, and it hurt, because it always hurts. But then, I had a horrible reaction. I started getting dizzy, and I felt like I was being choked, and they all freaked out because no one ever really gets immediate reactions like that. And so I ended up having 3 nurses in my room with a crash cart and the doctor, all kind of freaking out, and I was pretty much fine, except that I was still crying. And then they're like, we're just gonna keep you there. But apparently in the thousands that they do every year, not that many have reactions to them at all, let alone ones that freak them out in the first 30 seconds. So yeah, that was a lot of fun. Then I got to have my arm hurt all day. Yay. It's my favorite part.
So how did you enjoy your college experience this year?
It was a lot of fun, but it was also super stressful because college students are not designed to have 9 classes. It's just a giant stress cocktail. I'm gonna put it back on the floor over and over again. See what happens.
Yeah, so what was the most fun and what was the most stressful?
The opera was the most fun, and it was also the opera was the most fun, and music technology was the most stressful. God damn, that class was hard. Because apparently, when they say class is designed for juniors, they mean it. I thought they were just liars. They don't want me to take the fun class. Ah! This is a lot more running than I've done today.
So music technology was the most stressful and the opera was the most fun?
Yeah. Psychology was a lot of fun too.
So can you tell everybody which opera you were in?
We did Il Trinico, which is 3 operas in one. It is Il Tabaro, Suor Angelica, and Johnny Skiki. They're all the stories of stuff happening in a normal day until it's not. So the first half of each of those 3 operettas are very boring because it's just kind of average everyday stuff. And then something horrible happens and people die. Because it's opera, everyone dies.
And what part did you play?
In the first one, in Il Tabaro, I was a mindonette, which is basically a street person, coming back from my job. And in the 4th show, I was a whore because one of the whores didn't show up, and they, stage manager and the technical director, looked at each other and they said, "You know who would make a good whore? Sabrina." I'm like, "Wow, thanks. I appreciate the sentiments." And then in the 2nd show, I was prima giocatrice, which basically means I was the first touri, the girl that goes out to the market. So I changed the course of the opera with my eggs and butter by telling the rest of the cast that there is in fact a really nice carriage outside, as well as me having eggs and butter.
But how do you say that in Italian?
Burro and uovo. I do not say them in that order, but...
How do you say there's a really nice carriage outside?
Che è venuto stasera in paratorio. Does anyone know whose carriage is outside, or does anyone know if someone's coming?
And where did you first start learning Italian?
I started learning Italian in Italy 2 years ago, over the summer. I did not do very well. Because apparently, not stressing the class in a program where you're supposed to be learning Italian, you only see them for like an hour a day, is not that helpful for only 4 weeks.
And where are you going this summer?
I'm going to Salzburg, Austria.
And will you be learning Italian there?
I will probably learn German. I'm going to try. If I don't succeed, I'm going to be taking it in the fall as well. So I'll either get a head start or I'll be starting over.
And what program are you going to in Salzburg?
The... I am doing a program through the University of Miami Spross School of Music and the University of Salzburg to do Frost in Salzburg. Haha.
What is your favorite thing about the Ping Pong podcast?
I am not sucking currently. Usually I'm very bad at this.
Any comments?
Harut Senekarimian is watching.
Hi, Harut.
How are you doing?
So how did piano go this year?
Not that great.
How come?
Well, I did the first quarter, and then I got tendinitis. And it made it really hard to play piano, so I stopped.
And do you hold this against Harut?
I do hold this against Harut. It's Harut's fault. He gave me tendinitis. Snuck into my college and blasted me with the tendinitis juice. I don't know.
And are you serious or joking?
I am joking.
And do you hold anything against Harut, or do you like Harut?
I do not hold anything against Harut.
But it's funny to say.
Yes, it is. It's a beautiful thing called sarcasm.
Harut doesn't have sarcasm. He has birds.
That's fair. James has birds.
He does? What kind of birds?
He has 2 hawks.
What do the hawks do?
They kill other birds.
And is that nice or not nice?
Well, they're invasive species, so it's not great that the birds are dying, but it's good that they're no longer invading. Like aliens.
Alien birds?
I guess. Because they're, ruining the natural habitats. Haha. Still on your side.
And so what's been the best thing about being home?
I don't have any homework.
just fine. The Ping Pong podcast has no criteria for
The
success.
Ping Pong podcast is judging me. There you go.
So have you gotten to see all your friends since you've been back?
Nope.
And who haven't you been able to see?
Well, Nick and Joe called me today. I haven't seen Nick yet. I haven't seen Trevor. I saw Simone. I saw CK for like a second, but I didn't like say any words to him. There's probably other people I haven't seen that I just don't remember. I have no idea where Sophie is. She's probably missing. Because nobody knows where Sophie is.
So what are you looking forward to in Austria?
Hopefully Austrian food. I like food of other places, but I don't know how good they are with vegan food. They told me they're good with vegan food, so I'm going to trust them. If they're not, I'm just going to go find a kitchen. Ugh.
Any comments?
No! I might need to relive this.
I got it over here. Francesca Cohn is watching. Hi, Francesca. Ryan Moore is watching. Hi, Ryan. Julie Miller is watching. Harut is watching. Ivan Halpern is watching. Michael Jutanich is watching. Feel free to like and share, because otherwise nobody knows that we're doing the Ping Pong podcast. Ready?
Yeah, my phone does not know who's watching. Hit
We'd like to make sure the Ping Pong podcast takes advantage of anybody who is in town and enjoys playing ping pong at 6 p.m. on a weekday. And because Mary and Jacob were at the Dodger game, Sabrina and I were the ones who could keep up the tradition. And you could say, well, did Sabrina and Mary keep it up yesterday?
No, we ate Thai food and sat on our butts.
Where did you get the Thai food from?
Swan Thai.
Yeah, is that your favorite?
It's my favorite Thai place. The one in Denver is pretty good. The one that you keep taking me to. Nope, it's gone forever now.
All right, you get it. Just go tell your side.
There's this place in Denver that I did not know existed because it is not within walking distance of my campus, but it's really close to the hotel that Mom and Dad keep going to, that apparently has a really good labeling system for both vegan and gluten-free food. Which means, really easy for me to order there because I just tell them vegan and gluten-free and they'll make it.
Yeah, and what's their spicy index?
Oh my god. So they have 1 to 7, which is American, mild to hot. And then they have 15 Thai mild. 25 Thai medium, and 35 Thai hot. So yeah, we're all kind of afraid. We all order 2s. Like even Jacob, who just kind of ate a habanero once, he orders like a 2.
We were on a cruise to the Panama Canal, and we had the same waiter every night. And we would have this contest where we would eat salads. And, they come over and put, say, hey, do you want some fresh pepper on your salad? And so Jacob and I would have a contest to see who could get the most pepper on our salad. And so one day, the head waiter comes over, who was taking very, very good care of us on Princess, and says, well, that's not spicy. This is spicy. He takes out a little napkin he's got.
In his pocket, by the way, his chest pocket.
In his pocket with teeny tiny little, very, very hot peppers. And the answer to the question of should you try those, I think Jacob would admit is probably no. Don't do that.
Well, he's like, do you want to try it? And, Jacob's like, yeah, I can take it. And he just grabs it out of his hand and pops it in his mouth. He's like, you're supposed to crush that up on top of your salad. And then Jacob exploded. And I just remember running to the front of the dining room to grab him a handful of mints.
The thing that seemed to work the best is activated charcoal tablets, capsules. that I had in the room, that it seemed to kind of suck up all the chili juice. That seemed to help. Water helped a little bit.
Water does not help at all, especially if it's cold.
I'm supposed to be reading the comments.
The comments are not loading on my phone. So it's pointless. It's only showing me watching it.
So we don't have the ability to see comments, but I will try to check them every minute or two from the video camera phone, which, as you know, is over there. So I think the plan after this is we're going to go get some dinner, and we're kind of like getting some groceries. It's a fun evening. And we might sing Happy Birthday to Mary at midnight if she is awake. Sabrina's best skill when she played softball was she could hit the ball pretty hard. And she liked being catcher. Because it kind of kept her interested. And I think she kind of liked the guard too.
I felt like I was wearing armor.
I think did you give that up for cheerleading? Or they were both at the same time?
No, we took a year off between sports. 5th grade, we couldn't find anything. You guys were like, she can't do sports anymore. And I was like, what have I been doing for like 3 years? 5 years.
So you did soccer, and you did softball, and you did a bunch of cheer, right? Or is it
And
just
then
cheers?
dance.
And then dance.
Yeah, we only did 2 years softball.
That's what we thought you were going to be a musical theater person.
That is not what you thought I was going to be a musical theater person. That was 7th grade.
It was just for fun stuff to do.
No.
What was dance for?
Oh, dance? That probably had something to do with musical theater. I thought you were talking about the random 1-year gap.
So can you put in nice terms the difference between musical theater study and opera study?
It's a lot more music heavy in opera, and a lot more acting heavy, while musical theater puts a very heavy emphasis on needing to be able to dance, and much, much less on singing, because there's a lot of tap routines and ballet and all that stuff, which after I hurt my knees was so much. I started falling earlier today, and I caught myself with a pas de bourrée, or like a step ball change. And I realized, oh, this is just me forever. I am forever influenced by the 3 years of dance I took. I only took 3 years. Not even, no, I took 2 years. I got hurt at the end of the 2nd year.
I'll get it. Can you show the ping pong podcast what those 2 moves look like?
Oh, so it's like I was falling and it was step ball change. So I fell forward, I caught myself with one foot and then leaped back onto the other and fell into one. That wasn't exactly what I did, but that's the gist of a step ball change.
Lydia Mart says hi. Pamino is watching, Steve Cohen is watching, Carolyn Kitchen is watching.
Who's Steve Cohen?
I was a friend from Temple. I was on the board of directors with his wife.
Hello, Steve.
And he was also one of the leaders in Boy Scouts when Jacob was in it.
Cool.
Sherry Cohen. They're also members of Temple Bethel and San Pedro, where we are. Have been members since the kids were little. Jacob started it in preschool there.
Yeah. I was an active member, then I went to college and I never see them, obviously. I panic and I hit it really hard.
dancing at all in the opera?
There was like a little like swaying couple dancing between our one of two of the characters who were star-crossed lovers. By the way, the girl was already married, so that was fun. But yeah, actually, fun story. The first time we ever saw them practice that dancing, where they are right up on each other, was with one of the girls, and our director was the understudy for that character. Him and one of his friends from the Met decided that they would be playing two of the characters from Il Tabaro, the first piece in Il Trittico. And so the first time any of us ever saw that little dance at the beginning, it was our director and my tutor, by the way, dancing real close to each other. And we're all just like, what the heck? I actually have video. Because Trey took video. That's how I got Trey's number. That's how you get people's numbers. You wait for them to take really funny videos and they go, send that to me! And then they forget that airdrop exists. You get people's numbers. And then when you have random questions about how to pronounce stuff, you can ask them. It's a great strategy, kids. Especially when dealing with grad students.
Yeah, and how many of the students in your program are grad students and how many are undergrad?
I think it was supposed to be half and half, but something happened with the sophomore class that only 2 kids came. Of all the kids, huh?
Only 2 came back, or they only got 2 last year?
I don't know if they got 2 last year, if only 2 came back, but they only had 2. So the proportions were a little bit off. So yeah.
And what is the Met?
The Metropolitan Opera.
Where is that?
It's in New York City.
And why is it important?
It is actually the most famous opera house in LA, not LA, in the States. There are some more famous ones in Europe, but in the States, it is the opera house. Like, you want the big time, but you don't want to leave the States, you go to the Met. Actually, I think even, like, going to the Met over traveling abroad, I think the Met might be more important than...
The most important one in the world?
I don't know that, because I don't know as much about the opera scene in abroad cultures. I know there are definitely older opera houses abroad.
So what did you learn being abroad in Florence the last 2 years?
Well, the first year, I had only been studying opera for about as long as it took to learn the audition songs to apply to the program. And so when I came back, I was told by my opera teacher, Lyra Villanueva, little plug there, that I sounded, or no, I was told by my dad that I sounded completely different. You got a plug for nothing.
And what about the second year?
The second year was a lot more learning about technique. I think the thing that's different about that than what I was doing in high school was that I was seeing these teachers, I was only seeing them for half an hour, but I was seeing them every day. And so they had a lot more chance to quote unquote beat the knowledge into me than I ever did seeing my teacher 1 hour a week. Just because, like, even in that amount of time, I wouldn't have time to forget the lessons they were teaching me. They also did not know me and were not willing to take any of my bullshit.
And you're saying that your teachers here might have?
I think Leroy understood that I was had no idea what I was doing. They didn't know. They're like, you be good now.
And so how is that different from college?
Sarah doesn't take any of my shit either. It's again the once weekly lessons, but I think if we had more than once weekly, we would all die.
Who is Sarah?
Sarah Bardil is the head of the voice department at voice department at the University of Denver. She's also my private instructor. Biggest sweetheart. She's also germaphobe, so if you cough in her office, she'll send you home.
Well, then don't cough in her office, unless you want to go home.
But she also sends me home when I'm like really tired or really sick, which I appreciate. But also, she's very, very focused on the health of the singers, and so she does not want you singing if you are not up to full standard.
So in your first year at Lamont School of Music at University of Denver, how much of it was singing and how much of it was other stuff, and what was the other stuff?
Looks like my main singing classes were my lessons, 9 hours a week of opera. Well, my lessons were 1 hour a week. My opera was 9 hours a week. I wasn't always called, but that was our allotted time. And then we had choir for 4 hours a week. And then voice performance class, which was scheduled for an hour and a half. But if we went past noon, we would throw a riot. So yeah, that was fun. And then all my performances. And then oral skills was definitely a very singing-based class because it was learning how to hear the music and understand what it is.
Crash.
Breaks face, no longer has larynx.
Michelle Noble's watching. Hi, Michelle.
Hi.
Daniel share. Hi, Michelle. We are playing ping pong. So congratulations to Ariel and Gabby on graduation. Exciting. I think Ariel's going to Muhlenberg, and I think Gabby's going to Virginia Tech. I saw it on her page, even though I didn't see any big announcements. So congratulations to them. And if I'm wrong, you can post it in the comments.
Or you can call him and yell at him. But I recommend calling him from my phone because we are recording on his phone.
And so how many non-music classes did you take this year?
First quarter, I had my freshman seminar, which was an English-based course. I managed to get a course about the 1001 Arabian Nights, which is so cool. But my teacher was a character. You know there's something wrong with your teacher when the entire class is failing. Even the people, like me, who turned in every assignment, showed up to every class, and participated every morning at 8 a.m. At that point, there's no longer something wrong with the students, there was something wrong with the teacher. Turns out there were hidden assignments she was not telling us about. They were worth a lot of credit. So yeah, that was fun. And you know, who cares about the giant 150-page readings we would be assigned 2 days before they were due? It's like, oh no, I don't have 8 other classes at all. So yeah, that was fun. And then second quarter, it was a music class, but this was my one choice class. I had music technology, which again, I will just say, when they say it's a class for juniors, they mean it.
You did.
And then this past quarter, I had an English course, and then I had psychology. I had a lot of fun in psychology. I kept asking all these questions to my professor and our TA during the breaks. That most of them were things that my TA specialized in because he runs a social lab to help kids with their parents and stuff. So I had a bunch of questions that my professor had no idea how to answer, and my TA did not know how to answer, and he would go home and look it up and research it and see if they had any research on it. And almost every time he would tell me to answer the next class. But there were a few questions I had that he's like, yeah, no one's ever researched that. I'm like, oh, cool. He's like, it's a good idea, I just don't have time right now. I'm like, oh. He's like, I might later, in a later study. I'm like, can you do that? I want to know. But one of them would also require dissecting a lot of people's brains, so might be a little bit hard.
Dissecting brains?
Yeah, it was the one about the amygdala. I wanted to know the applications and the processing factor of the amygdala in people with disabilities who typically have compromised memories. And if it is a problem of the information getting to the amygdala, one of the memory centers, or if it is the amygdala, is that the emotion center? I might be mixing up my questions. I'm kind of trying to do 8 things at once right now.
So why do you take 18 units a quarter?
Well, they kind of design it to be that way, but also, like, it's like if I have 8 credits open, I might as well take 2 of my GE courses along with my mandatory music classes. I figure if I'm really stressed right now, then in my later years when I'm getting larger roles in the opera, I'll have more time for them and I won't be as stressed out then. And I had a plan this quarter that if something happened, a way that I could drop psychology safely, because our drop period ends at week 7. Out of 10. Like week 11 is finals, but it's 10 weeks of classes. But that was after our second test. And so if I did not score well enough on the first 2 tests, because there is no homework in that class, there were only tests, then I was going to drop the class. And I scored well enough, and I scored well enough on the 3rd test that I got a B+. So,
So do you have any academics coming up in the next quarter?
Just German. Everything else is music-based. I mean, one of them's music history, but it's called musicology, but we're doing fundamentals of musicology. Yay!
Yay.
Michelle Noble, do you still play Dragon Dale? Because I keep sending you gems, and I don't know if you are receiving them.
Me too.
Yay! It's his problem now.
Yeah, the whole goal of our ping pong game is not to score points, it's to not have to run after the ping pong ball.
So it's better if you know you're going to have to pick it up to make the other person run after it than to go get it yourself. Not having flyaways, which I'm glad I did this before I went to the doctor, because holding my arm above my head that long after getting the HPV shot would be quite horrible, because the entire muscle group that they put it into hurts after that. Or it doesn't hurt, it's sore. And so it's like, ugh. I learned that when I got the first one before my senior class trip to Magic Mountain. They're like, do you want to go to Disneyland? I'm like, no. And all the girls except for me and one were like, Disneyland. And all the boys and me and Simone were like, Magic Mountain. And we won.
Wasn't the right choice.
Yes. I had a lot of fun. And I stuck with Max. Max is somehow really, no, I stuck with Austin. Never mind. I already been there with Austin, so we know all the routes. How to get to the good rides. And we got in there quick, so we got to some of the rides that usually have longer lines before anyone else.
And so was there an Austin report?
Oh, all the things about Austin I'm not allowed to share.
Austin is tough.
Austin.
He used to go to RHP.
Currently
Now he
lives-
goes to Drew. Drew University?
Yep.
In New Jersey?
Yeah.
Just outside of Manhattan, right?
Yeah, I think he had a job in Manhattan, so he was like driving in and taking the train in like everywhere. Like him and his friends are all teamed up to buy a car.
You got a shared car?
Yeah, I think so.
That you're allowed to share. And how was, you went to the RHP graduation, right?
Yeah.
And was there anything good that happened there?
It was boring. I saw Simone, that was fun. Then I convinced her to come back to my house and eat Thai food and watch Netflix instead of going to hang out with Chance, who had actually graduated. So I see where I stand on the totem pole, and is not where I thought I stood.
I have trouble now.
It fell behind merchandise.
at the end merchandise.
No, it was fine.
Last volley.
Okay. This has been Ping Pong Podcast number 10.
Thanks for watching. Hi, Barbara.